Ho, 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 and welcome to Litter Media Live. No, it's not St. Nick. It's not Chris Kringle. It's just Dan and Mike.
Dan and Mike, yeah.
This is our last opportunity to be together in studio because I'm going on vacation for a few days.
Until next year.
So until next year, yes. So Merry Christmas.
And to you as well.
Merry Christmas, Tiny Tim. That's Aaron Glandon,
Tiny
if
Tim.
you didn't know. So welcome to the program as we jump into this. Is it Tuesday?
Yes, the 19th.
So this time next week, we'll start returning gifts that we didn't want. You know, you open the thing and it's like, oh, there's a receipt in it. Good, thank you.
How do you return a bag of coal and a bundle of sticks?
It's not easy, but it can be done, I'm sure. I'm trying to think if I've ever actually returned something before. I think
My wife always handles that, yeah.
I usually just say, okay, if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it stays in the closet or it gets donated to somebody.
Yeah.
And that's not really re-gifting because you're not boxing it up and putting wrapping paper and then giving it to someone.
Yeah.
That's actually making a donation to Goodwill or somebody like that.
That's correct.
Yeah. We were hit with some snow yesterday. I was going to lunch, and as I left the loft, I went down, and the parking lot was wet. It looked like a TV commercial for a car dealer. You know, they always wet down the pavement and everything. That's what it looked like. The sun was shining. Yeah. It was beautiful. But to the north of us, it was just dark as could be. I drove from here on Eastern Avenue up to Main Street, and it started snowing. I got from Main Street to the bridge, and it was big solid pieces of sleet. Yeah. That side of it, and it was just wet. I got to the other side of the bridge, it stopped snowing.
Right.
I came back and it went it went to big giant flakes and looked like we were in Minnesota or something. Yeah. It was a whirlwind of a mix of winter weather yesterday.
Yeah, in Frankfurt, I counted them. We had 7 different bands of that came through. After each one, the sun came out. And then it hit again. The sun came out. Yeah. It hit again 7 times. Is this like a plague of Egypt or something? Lord, what's happening here?
Well, all that cloud cover we had, and you're right, there were like these little holes where the sun could make its way in, and it shone all around you, and then suddenly it changed. It was like the continual change in the 10 Commandments, like you said. So,
but north and west, it accumulated. They had a real bad semi-wreck up there north of Circleville this morning, and 23 still may be closed.
Is that right?
They said they didn't know because it was hauling rolled steel.
Oh, my.
And they didn't know. I don't know that anyone was hurt, but it made such a mess on the road. They didn't know when they were going to get it back open. So I hope they're not going north of Circleville today.
Not today. No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, tomorrow.
Maybe by Friday they'll have it cleared out.
Yeah. I will tell you, we did have measurable snow at the Ramey Ranch. It was a little more than my prediction of a 1/4 inch, but it was less than 1/2 inch. So it was about 3/8 of an inch.
Yeah, stuck to the grass, but not so much on the pavement out our way.
Our back deck was covered, but I didn't get to it in time to do any shoveling, so I walked over it. So I'm praying that these temperatures in the 50s, which we're hearing about, will melt all that away.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
So what is our forecast for us?
Yeah, not going to get real warm today, but we're expecting some sunshine today and a high 35. So what little bit of snow is out there, if that sun comes out on it by mid to late afternoon, that might take care of it. It'll be even warmer tomorrow with a high of 45. Mid-40s through Saturday, and then on Christmas Eve day, 50, Christmas Day, 54. I can remember a 60-degree day on Christmas here.
Oh, yeah.
Not in Florida, but here, at least one time. So
when Santa shows up and you're able to see his suspenders because it's too warm, took the jacket off and says, you know what, I'm sweating too much. I just got to take some layers off.
His sled will be like one of those boats that can land on water, but it also has tires on it for when they don't have water.
An amphibious sleigh. That'd be cool. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date with what's really making news today, as opposed to what we've been chatting about, although the weather was real.
Well, Santa's real. Come on.
And I didn't say that he wasn't.
Well, we got to give updates on how Santa's going to get here in 55 degrees.
I can't say that I've ever actually seen an amphibious sleigh. So
maybe
that might have been a stretch right there.
Maybe a first.
But we got sports coming up, this date in history, and I visited with Holland yesterday, and we'll share some of her words for you coming up in just a few short moments. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters. I mentioned this yesterday. If you're like at Mike Smith's house for the holidays and you have all those gifts to unwrap and you need a big dumpster to put all the wrapping paper and everything in, or if you're just getting rid of you're one of those people that has 15 trees in your house and you want to get rid of all those trees, you need a dumpster. Or if you're doing a project of some sort and you need a dumpster to put all the waste in, make sure you call Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Tell them that Dan and Mike sent you. Here's the number to call, 740-253-8389. For those of you watching our show right now, if you click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, it takes you to their Facebook page where they have even more details about who they are and what they do. Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Merry Christmas from our guys that have the orange dumpster.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
At Rathkamp Financial, we act as your advocate in all wealth matters. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
We, of course, are going to talk about some of the things we have on our website, littermedia.com. Make that your first look for news to find out the good things going on in our community. But, of course, here we have this show daily, every Monday through Friday. That's not a holiday. Mm-hmm. For instance, we'll not be here Christmas Day or New Year's Day this next 2 weeks. But we do want to share details at littermedia.com. And, of course, Litter Media Radio. You can hear it there, too. What's making news for us today?
Well, let's start with the interview you did with Holland.
Oh, yeah. Holland, many of you might remember her as little Holly Miller, who was, I worshiped with her at Liberty Hill Church. I lost the word hill there for a second. But she was just a 12-year-old girl playing guitar, and she had a voice that would just, boom, knock it out of the park. And then she became the Ross County Idol. She ends up getting to the American Idol. She makes it to the Hollywood level. Mm-hmm. And so she got the golden ticket. Well, now she has been performing as Holland. She spent a couple of years there touring with Toby Mac, who's one of the top contemporary Christian music artists today. And her career has just taken off. Now she's 26 years old, coming back to Chillicothe, and she's going to perform with Corey Breath, who is a Chillicothe graduate, and Corey is a Spanish teacher up at Tip City, Tippecanoe, and so he's coming back home. They're going to put on these 2 sold-out performances at Roast Coffee House this Thursday and Friday. Now, having said all that, this is on the heels of her performing at the Grand Ole Opry just about 2 weeks ago for a Christmas presentation with a friend of hers, Tommy Prophet, who I tell you, the production they put on was out of this world. If you take a look at our interview that we had with Holland, there is a link that you can click on it and watch her performance of We Three Kings. She talks about being at the Grand Ole Opry and performing there for the first time.
And he did this Christmas album a couple years ago, and it was amazing, cinematic, just huge, really amazing. And then last year, we did a live performance of that, which has been filmed and recorded, the audio and the video, which is available on YouTube and then for streaming everywhere. But that was the one that he invited me to be a part of, and that was at Belmont in Nashville. And so we got to do that with a 100-piece choir, 60-piece orchestra. It was just amazing. And then like the next week after that was over, he texted all of us and said, hey, would you guys be free to do this next year, which is what we just did at the Grand Ole Opry? And we're like, duh, absolutely. That would be wonderful. So we just did that 2 weeks ago. And it was so surreal, like seeing all of the memorabilia and stuff backstage and getting to kind of rejoin our little Christmas family and do that show. So yeah, it was so cool.
During this interview, one of the coolest things to happen, she's doing it from her car, is where she was sitting. And she said, the baby is in napping, and my husband's busy doing some things there in the house. And so she says, I'm in my car, and she's looking around. She goes, oh my gosh, here comes my mailman. And he walks behind her, unbeknownst to the fact that he's on a worldwide broadcast.
Yeah, that.
Check it out. It's on our YouTube channel, and it's really cool to catch up with her. And she's got a lot of cool things going on. We talked about her brother, Michael, who is now performing as Moose Miller, and he is down in Nashville. He's done some things locally here, and but I tell you, they got it going on. So if you want to see them this weekend, again, it's a sold-out show, but I did see on Roast's Coffee House's Facebook page, there were some people saying, hey, we bought tickets, but we can't use them. So you might check with Roast to see if there's an opportunity to get your way in there Thursday or Friday.
Very good. It's always good to see local talent doing well.
Absolutely.
Ross County Junior Achievement volunteers getting a Christmas shout out for their efforts during the fall semester working with area youth. On our screen there, you can see all of the list. Actually, it's kind of like a letter to Santa, that if you can show a little extra love to all of these volunteers, many of these folks we know as business clients or good friends of ours. And if you see these folks, thank them for what they do in helping Ross County Junior Achievement. A couple of weeks ago, we were telling about the lecture, The Barn Builders, for the Ross County Historical Center. Had to postpone that because of a kind of a last-minute emergency. Well, they have rescheduled that. That's going to be on December the 21st, which is this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at the Ross County Historical Center. That's free, and it's open to the public. So if that was something that you wanted to attend and it had to be postponed, it's going to be this Thursday night. Chillicothe Ross Public Library is providing the community the digital resource ProQuest Historical Newspapers of Ohio collection. It includes digital archives of the Chillicothe Gazette going back to 1892. Every issue of each title in the collection includes the complete year, the cover of the paper, full page, including advertisements. This would be, I think, a lot of fun to just get a look at, and it's free for anyone that has a library card. Ross County Recovery Center is hosting a Christmas meal to those in need in our community. It's Christmas Day at the Recovery Center from 4 to 6 p.m. Now, they rely on community donations to help make this happen. So if you can assist in supplying the menu items that they've posted on their website, go to Sign Up Genius, that's the name of the website, to sign up, or you can email Stacy Saunders Adams, who email that link can be found on that same site.
It just sounded funny. Sign up, genius. Sign up, genius.
Sign up.
Go ahead, would you? It's like, sign up, Einstein.
Somebody thought enough to get that deal. Pickaway County Sheriff Matthew Hafey has announced the upcoming Light the Sky 2023 this Friday. Your Pickaway County first responders will once again be participating in a Christmas parade at 6 p.m., visiting Ohio Health Burger, as well as the local nursing home facilities throughout the county as they go out and spread some joy. Special guests, Santa and Mrs. Claus, will be there as well before their epic journey around the world. Join the Pickaway County Community Foundation Agriculture Fund's Ag Chat on January 27th at Roadhouse 56. It gets underway at 5 p.m. They got dinner, drinks, and all things ag. Get your tickets for $15. That same night, the Circleville Sunrise Rotary Club presents the return of dueling pianos at the Pickaway County Heritage Hall, and that gets underway. The show's at 7, doors open at 6, so you might be able to go from one right over to the other. Those tickets are $40 each, or if you want a table of 8, that's $400. Portion of the proceeds go to the Picka's Soap and Hope Community Initiative. Risk associated with carbon monoxide poisoning can increase during wintertime. For more safety information, the Ohio Emergency Management Agency has tips that could save your life. Check the batteries in your carbon monoxide alert detector if you have one in your home. If you don't, install one. Thousands of hunters across Ohio were participating in the deer gun season and the deer bow season, which is now concluded as far as calendar year 2023. Ohio harvested over 15,000 white-tailed deer during the extra weekend of deer gun hunting, which was just this past weekend. Following the weekend, gun hunters have checked a total of 96,000 deer this year, including 10,000 deer checked by youth hunters back in November. Archery hunters have harvested 89,000 deer through December 17th, bringing the season total for all implements to 185,969 deer. And that is a look at your topics.
That's a lot of deer, and that's fewer opportunities for me to run into them with my car.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of times, ODNR or Division of Wildlife, they have a way of doing kind of like a check that they get a general idea of how many deer are out there, and that's why sometimes you see from year to year the number of deers that you can take varies. If they think there's an overpopulation, there's more, and not only for hunting purposes, but actually for humane reasons. A lot of people have not studied this. There's disease that can go through overpopulated herds, and that can wipe out even more deer than the hunters can. So there's a very humane logic to all of that.
There's a handful of deer making their way across the road as I was heading home the other night. And so I was grateful that they made it across before I came through. But there was just that little hint of seeing them go over the fence. And just to let you know, we're still here, lurking about despite all the hunting that was done. We are still here. So
very graceful when they are out jumping and running.
They are.
Except when they run in front of your car.
Yes, yes. And I've been quite fortunate with the last couple of vehicles I've had, but the one prior to was it was a magnet. Jason Rhodes from Perfection One Collision Center, I don't know how many times he put my car back together. But
you again, huh, Dan?
I saw him at a chamber event here recently, and he said, "Haven't seen you for a while." And I said, "It's because I've got a different car." So, all right, coming up in a moment, we've got sports and some news to share that Mike doesn't know about. So we've got that we'll share coming up in just a moment. Just happened to see this during the program here this morning. So that's coming up in sports. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. For nearly 5 decades, they've been taking care of the heating issues, the cooling issues, and now doing some plumbing work as well. So if you've got any issues like that in your residence or your commercial, maybe you're building a new business and you're looking for someone to put a new system in for you, check Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They've done a lot of work here in southern Ohio and in most of central Ohio now, too. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It will take you right to their website. For those of you listening on radio, it is AccurateHVAC.com. Sports next.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
And don't forget, tomorrow is Meet the Manager Day. If you're looking for a job, open interviews at McDonald's in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly. McDonald's!
I'm loving it.
Let's take a look at sports now. Where are we starting?
High school basketball last night. SOC girls, Portsmouth Notre Dame continues to roll. They're undefeated, 5-0. This was an interesting matchup. Portsmouth Clay and Western. The Western girls basketball team, they've struggled.
They've had challenges, yes.
But Clay has struggled as well, just keeping 5 girls on the floor. They don't have many kids on the floor. I think this is the third game this year that they finished the game with only 4 players. You have to start with 5. Mm-hmm. But they still beat Western 21-18 last night.
And ironically, you and I were talking before the show, I've only seen that happen once before, and it was at Western, the old school, during junior high basketball, and Western was on the winning side of that with just 4 players.
Yeah. But that should have been kind of interesting to watch that. Other winners in girls action last night: South Webster, Waverly, Wellston, White Oak, Warren. How many W's are in there? There's like 5 of them there. In the TVC, it's River Valley, Alexander in overtime, Athens, Fairland. You're going to see this team later in the tournament. They are just lights out. Rock Hill, Portsmouth was a winner. So was Fayetteville, North Adams. In the Sheridan girls game, Jamison Stinson broke her sister Faith's record. We saw Faith 2 years ago. We saw Jamison last year. 1,420 points and still playing. She's got D1 people looking at her.
And the opponents were like, is this the last sister?
Yeah. But in boys basketball, non-conference, Sheridan beat Amanda, Clear Creek, New Boston, and Batavia were all winners. There's more basketball tonight. I think the SVC boys, are playing tonight. But check out our littermedia.com score page for all of that information coming up later tonight. In other sports, a battle of top 20 women's basketball teams last night. The number 13 Lady Buckeyes lost to number 2 ranked UCLA 77-71. The Ohio Bobcats men's basketball team manhandled Defiance last night, 108-28. But the other neat story about this, Uniota grad Evan Park started in the game. He scored 2 points. But the picture that we have here, if we have it, that is family and friends that showed up at the convo to root Evan on last night. Looked like they had quite a contingent there, and I know a lot of those people there.
And this goes along with why is Defiance playing Ohio? Because they're an NAIA school, right?
Well, but Ohio State does the same thing.
Well, and we've also saw recently Shawnee State going up and playing Kent State, but that did not show up on Kent State's schedule. It did show up on Shawnee State's schedule. Mm-hmm. So, but I thought to myself, was this an exhibition last night? But apparently not.
I think it was the real deal. But
they got throttled.
NBA action last night. The Cavaliers were the winner over Houston, 135-130.
And this posted on Chillicothe City Schools Facebook page. I'd heard about something like this coming about, but I hadn't heard an actual number. So we don't have the photo to show. Okay, so Aaron is doing some elfin magic behind the scenes here to bring this to us. Kenny Bonner is the photo here. He's holding a check. Kenny has been the president of the Touchdown Club at CHS for quite some time. They've accumulated a good bit of money, and they made a donation to Chillicothe City Schools of $500,000. And the purpose for this, and the memo on the check, is it's for resurfacing the football field at the O. So
what's the age of what's there now?
It was installed in 2013, so it's made it through 10 complete seasons and getting ready for another one. When the work takes place, I don't know. I haven't heard when that's going to happen, but I would have to think if they're going to try and do it this year, it'll probably be after, I would think, the spring sports is done. Yeah, that's usually when most of this work is being done.
Seems like I can remember you and I going down when they were laying the original turf.
Yeah. I did a photo essay. This is when I would stop down and I would shoot video of progress every day. And I still have a lot of that in my personal archives. So maybe when they start doing it again, I'll kind of bring some of that back out again.
Gotcha.
All right. On the way in just a moment, this date in history's revolutionary moment.
Right. Gotcha.
I keep forgetting, Mike is not with us on Monday. He comes back on Tuesdays. And here we are with the revolutionary moment, which has been dedicated to today. That's coming up after these words on Litter Media Live.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawn.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand. Just
it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
The Nathaniel Matthew. I knew as soon as I started it, something like that was going to happen. Yeah. The Nathaniel Massey chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution provide us with the information for our revolutionary moment. And what happened?
Yeah, Esek Hopkins was an American naval officer, merchant captain, and privateer. It sounds an awful like pirate, but it's not. It's a good thing.
I was thinking chocolatier.
He achieved the rank of Commodore. Hopkins was the only commander-in-chief of the Continental Navy during the American Revolutionary War. The Continental Congress commissioned him as a commander-in-chief of the Navy in December of 1775. Don't know much more about him as to where he hailed from, but he was pretty important to our efforts in the Revolutionary War.
So he was the first of the Commodores.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He preceded Lionel Richie, although I think Lionel might be just about at age.
I wonder if he ever slept in a brick house.
I'm sure of it. Yeah, I'm sure he had to have in that era. Yeah.
In all seriousness, thank you to, again, the Nathaniel Massey chapter, the Daughters of the American Revolution. They were busy over the weekend laying wreaths at the Green Lawn Cemetery.
Yeah. Those probably in the thousands in our area. I remember 2 years ago, maybe we went down when the wreaths arrived. Mm-hmm. They were coming off the truck, and there was a bunch of them that particular day.
Absolutely. Thank you for your service, ladies, and the volunteers to help them do what they do. All right, coming up tomorrow, anything special?
That's your
had a conversation earlier today with Amanda Everett from Destination Downtown Lancaster. We will have that production available for you tomorrow here on Litter Media. And also, don't forget to go check out the Holland interview that I had yesterday. That's available now on our YouTube channel. Coming up Thursday, you have our Litter Media Game of the Week pregame show, and that will involve Taze Valley and Circleville. We are scheduled to speak with both Cody Carpenter from Circleville and Brian Barnett from Taze Valley today. They will produce and have available for you on Thursday.
Gotcha. And this is your last appearance in 2023 that we know of.
That we know of, yeah.
Yeah.
In case I happen to pop in and say Merry Christmas, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So thank you for those of you who have supported Litter Media throughout the year, and looking forward to a great 2024 as we continue to expand. So people, come over here. We got to get him on camera.
This is our elf.
This is our...
jump in here.
Our elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
Is Aaron Glandon right here.
Yeah.
Look into the camera because people can't see him. There he is. Okay.
Girls, there he is.
So see, we have expanded with our team, and if you're interested in advertising on our program to help support this team, we'd appreciate that as well. Go find out more details on how to do so. Simply send us a message here on Facebook, or you can take a look and find out who our sponsors are on our website, littermedia.com, and find us on our social media all over the place. More and more people want to know about the good things going on in our communities, and that is the job we have been given to do. And we're telling those stories. For the icon, Mike Smith, for Mr. Elfin Magic, Aaron Glandon, I'm Dan Ramey. We'll see you next time with another edition of Litter Media Live.